So, picture this. You are getting ready for like a big strategy section.
Mm-hmm.
And you just know that SWOT analysis, it's going to be like the main event.
Yeah.
It's like the MVP, right, of business schools.
Oh, for sure.
But here's the thing about the tools that we use all the time.
Yeah.
We don't often stop and think about where they came from.
Right.
And that's what we're going to do today.
Yeah.
We are diving deep into the history of SWOT analysis.
Okay.
And it's surprisingly murky.
It really is.
Yeah. You'd think that something so like everyone uses it.
I know.
It would have a clear backstory.
You would think. You would think.
But as some recent research kind of points out,
Yeah.
it's more complicated than
It's
that.
a lot more complicated.
Yeah. We're even going to look at how ChatGPT,
Okay.
the AI
Right.
that everybody's talking about, handles this historical puzzle.
It's pretty fascinating, isn't it? That SWOT analysis is so, like, we just use it.
Totally.
It's so ingrained in the business world, we don't even think about it. And I think in some ways, its simplicity
Yes.
is its downfall.
Totally.
Because everybody thinks they know it,
Right.
so we just kind of skip over how did we get here.
Right. Like, we think we know, but like that common knowledge, it's totally wrong.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is that researchers actually put ChatGPT-4 to the test to see how well does it know the history of SWOT analysis.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the results are a little bit a reality check.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so like give me the what happened.
It did not do a good job.
Oh.
ChatGPT, yeah. When it came to recounting SWOT analysis.
Interesting.
Inaccuracies, gaps, even some like flat out hallucinations.
Okay, well, for those of us who haven't like gone down the AI rabbit hole,
Sure.
what does hallucination even mean in this context?
Yeah, so in AI, when we say hallucination, it basically means it's confidently presenting information.
Okay.
That's just wrong.
So it's making stuff up
Kind of, yeah.
about SWOT analysis.
Yeah, and it's funny on the surface, right? But what it points to is actually a bigger thing, which is management history is messy.
Right.
It's complicated, and even AI struggles with it. And you might even see this in your own, like, life.
Totally.
You know, how many times have we heard a story
Yes.
and it gets repeated?
Yes.
And we find out later.
Oh, yes.
BS.
Yeah, totally.
It happens all the time. And surprisingly or not, it happens in the business world, too.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like we've all accepted this like SWOT myth
Right.
and just never question where it comes from.
Totally.
Like it just, yes.
Yeah.
But these researchers, they actually weren't content with the usual suspects
Yeah.
when it comes to like SWOT history.
Totally.
You mean like those stories of it coming out of Harvard Business School
Yes, exactly.
in the 60s?
Yes.
I've heard that one.
Oh, yeah.
And like, wasn't there a book?
Yes. There's the book from, I think it's 1965, that everybody points to as like the origin.
The origin? Yeah, totally.
They dug into it and even looked at, you know, with all these old documents, like, are they even available online?
Right.
Can we actually trace this?
Yeah.
And it turns out it's not that simple to just pin it on one person or one book. It's just not how it happened.
Okay. But if ChatGPT is getting it wrong, where is it even getting this information from?
Right.
It's not like it's just like pulling it out of thin air.
Right. It learns from the data it's given.
Right.
And in this particular case, they trace it back to places like Business Balls, marketingteacher.com, Rapid BI.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, these are websites I'm sure some people listening have used.
Okay.
But they're not exactly
Scholarly.
Scholarly, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
They're good for a quick explanation.
Right.
But they're not the end-all, be-all.
So we're expecting like AI to be this like strategy guru, but it's pulling from like Spark Notes.
Yeah, it's true. And think about it this way. If you were going to go and, let's say, write a comprehensive history of a city, would you just use the tourist brochure?
Right.
Probably not. You'd miss all the nuance.
I think you want to talk to the people.
Exactly. Look there, yeah. You want to go to, like, the weird archives.
Totally.
And see what you can dig up.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what's missing here is that depth of knowledge that hasn't been fed to ChatGPT yet.
So ChatGPT can spit out a SWOT analysis probably faster than we can say competitive advantage.
Right. Exactly.
But it's missing the forest for the trees. A little bit.
It is. It is. And this is where it's like, they say often that a strength can also be a weakness, right? And so AI's strength is that it can process information so quickly.
Right.
But if it's processing it without all of the nuance and it's just going off of what's easily accessible,
Yes.
it can be misleading.
Right.
It's like building a house on a shaky foundation.
Okay, so we've kind of gone through debunking the myths.
Yes.
But I'm curious about, what does the paper say about where SWOT analysis comes from?
Right.
Like, what do we know for sure?
That is the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give us a perfect answer.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Which is, I know, anticlimactic.
Right.
But in a way, it's more valuable.
Yeah.
Because it reminds us that even those things that we think are so simple, like, oh, SWOT analysis, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. They're usually way more complicated than we think they are. And it's a good reminder as we use more AI to think about that.
Totally. It's a good reminder that, like, even as AI gets, like, smarter and smarter, we can't, like, turn off our brain.
Right.
And just assume it's giving us the right answer.
It's a tool, right.
Exactly.
Like any other tool.
Yeah.
It can be used for good. It can be used badly. We have to be the ones who are using it thoughtfully.
Especially with, like, SWOT analysis, we're making decisions
all
with it.
Important ones.
Right.
Big decisions, so, yeah.
Yeah, so you're walking into that strategy session.
Yes.
And not only are you armed with, like, okay, here's how we do the SWOT analysis, but also, like, the whole history of it.
You can drop some knowledge.
Right. Like, did you guys know this is way more complicated than it seems?
Yeah. And instead of just filling in the boxes, you start to, like, think about, what are the assumptions?
Right.
Even behind this simple tool.
Behind the simplicity.
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
It's not about, like, getting rid of SWOT analysis. It's about using it in a more thoughtful way.
Thoughtful. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been, like, really eye-opening. Yeah. So for anybody listening who's about to, like, go into a SWOT analysis,
please
remember, a little healthy skepticism
always
can go a long way.
Question the easy answer.
Question the easy answers. Don't be afraid to, like,
keep digging.
Keep digging. I love that. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Into the surprisingly complex world of SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you next time. All right. So